Hey everyone, welcome to Collector Chatter. In today's episode, we're going to talk about how Labubu's crashed the Pop Mart site. The malls have been going crazy for these things. Funko announced a new Fun Days, but is it really like the old one? We're going to talk about that. And VeeFriends Topps Chrome is coming soon. Can't wait to talk about that as well.
Collecting is the way. Now let's chat.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Collector Chatter. This is episode 130. I am Migs here with Charlie. Kind of like the old days now, huh?
Yeah. So, as everyone listening or watching on YouTube, you'll see now it's just me and Migs, and it's going to be that way going forward. Trey is actually no longer going to be part of Collector Chatter. We love Trey here. It was great when he came and joined. For some people who don't realize, he joined on episode 100. So it used to just be me and Migs. Trey is always welcome back to Collector Chatter whenever he wants. He's part of what we called our Collector Council before he became a full-time member. We really appreciate him, and obviously everyone should still go check him out over at STX Collectibles. He just has a lot going on. He's really going to be focusing on that channel. But once again, we wish him nothing but the best. And yeah, hopefully he'll, come join us sometime soon as a special guest. But with that being said, we have a lot of cool stuff that we want to talk about this episode.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're hyped up for this one. I mean, we were stepped away for a little while as well. Some stuff happened. Charlie went away. Like a lot of things where we were making some changes. If you guys didn't notice, obviously the logo changed. My username changed. If anyone saw that, that was a big change. I have been Pop Migs / Pop _ Migs for the beginning of when I ever did this whole collecting journey. Yeah, years ago, like 5 years ago, whatever. And I wanted to make a change. I was thinking about that for a little while, but I just felt like it was a little more uniform with, a couple things. One, the podcast, obviously, Collector Chatter, and Collector Charlie fits perfect with that. But also because that was so strictly Funko related, and I kind of stepped away a little bit from Funko, and I took so much different things. Yeah, check out that reel if you haven't. Filmmaker Mike loved it, that's for sure. But yeah, we're excited for the change and for what's to come. But like Charlie said, yeah, Trey's definitely going to still pop on here and there, I'm sure. Like, we have our guests and stuff, and he's still one that we still talk to. So for sure, we'll make sure to do that. But this episode is going to be pretty jam-packed in the sense of like what we're going to talk about. We're really excited for, because we have a few things that we really want to cover. If you heard in the intro, I kind of mentioned a few things. One of them is a Labubu craze that's going on right now with the third wave that just came out. Funko announced Fun Days, but in Hollywood, so we're going to talk about that. That's going to be interesting. Of course, VeeFriends, that's coming out soon. Topps Chrome. I am now fully on board and super deep in the game on VeeFriends. We'll talk about that as well. And maybe some other things, Rocky Moto as well. We love shouting them out, but they have some cool stuff coming out, their new wave. And if there's anything else, we'll toss it in there towards the end of the episode. But we'll start off. I want to start off with the Labubu stuff, because this is mayhem right now. with this newest drop. And if you guys don't know what Labubu is, I mean, I'm assuming you might, but if you don't, check them out. Pop Mart is basically a store that sells a lot of like blind box items, and they have like IPs, but they have a mix of stuff that's their own like original characters. And this is like the monsters, which is where Labubu comes from. And obviously the like kind of plushy bag like clip style was like the big one that like really blew it up. They have a lot of other small ones, like you can see behind Charlie. He's got a few different ones. They did that One Piece collab, which we talked about and just recently came out. That was super exciting. But the bread and butter is those like plush bag ones. And the first one to come out, it's funny that Charlie has both of them back there. But the first one to come out was the macaron ones, which I actually don't have any of those. That's like the first wave. The second wave was Have a Seat, which was them basically a little bit smaller and sitting down. Like the style is a bit different. And now the third one is Big Energy. And the color's a little bit brighter, a little bit more for like the summer, like that vibe. And these just dropped on the 24th.
Yes.
And two things which are crazy about this. One, I knew it was going to be pretty exciting. We were talking about it. We're like, this is probably going to be super hyped up. Might be kind of hard to get. Like, it might sell out in your cart. Ha ha ha. But bro, both of us were on there, and this does between the website and the app, it
Didn't even
never
work.
worked. It was crashed completely.
We
Literally
thought the
kept
One
getting
Piece
the
was hard to get.
dude, yeah, and the One Piece at least you can it was like it was just
You
hard
could
to
see
add
it.
and like, yeah, like we're like, damn, it just won't add, or if it did, it just sold out fast. And like there was still ways to get through Pop Now. Like I bought a couple through there. So like it was obviously a doable thing. This was impossible,
Unbelievable.
non-existent to get on there. And we joked about it. I put up a like a funny little meme reel about the bots and everything because it just seemed like that's the only way people got it is if there was a bot because everyone that I saw, it didn't work. The
Yeah, I don't
the
know
whole thing
anyone
was
who
crashed.
actually got it.
That was insane though. Like, I mean, it was kind of like an adrenaline rush. Like, oh my god, am I gonna get this? But like, it was annoying because every time you refresh, it just never worked. And I don't know if it's just because it couldn't handle stuff, like the site just self crashed because it couldn't handle it, or was it just so overwhelming with bots like buying these things because everyone's like going crazy about it? But I don't know, what are your initial thoughts on it? Because then we'll get into, like,
Yeah.
the retail side of things, but, like, what's your thought on, like, this site and the crashing? It was wild.
It was unlike anything I've ever seen, and like I it's exciting even though I couldn't get it. Like I
Mhm.
wish it was it's just fun to be now into like something that I'm like to collect that is hard to get, even though you get the FOMO. But like you said, it was unlike anything I've ever seen. I mean, it never loaded. The app, like I feel
Crazy.
I've had better luck with the app than the website with anything with Pop Mart since I've started collecting. And yeah, it wouldn't even load, nothing would come up. And it's just crazy. But the one thing, and let us know in the comments because obviously we're still new to this. I feel like this drop was like the first time where it's like at this all-time hype for so many people. Even obviously the first two sets that you mentioned that I have behind me were hard to get, but this was like, I mean, everyone and their mother wanted these, and I think it made it even more crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Uh,
agree. Like you said, we weren't around for the drops of the other ones. We obviously see them, like you said, you can
yeah.
still grab them because they come up once in a while in restocks. But like, yeah, like Tony Ann, if you're listening, you can chime in because you probably would know a little more. But like, compare this to what those were. Like to me, I feel like this is like Charlie
Yeah.
said, like the hype is now beyond just those niche collectors that collect Pop Mart stuff or the girls that love bag clips. Like everyone's trying to get these, whether it's like young kids, adults, male, female, like doesn't matter. And the hype and excitement is so high up. And then it's like a multi thing. It's like people love to get them because they collect them, but the flipping side of thing is obviously a massive part of it. So like
Yeah.
people know that they're exciting and people want them and they can go for money and they're selling them at resale for crazy prices, double, triple the price. So like they're more excited now because obviously Funko's not really doing that, and other like products aren't really
Yeah.
doing that hype anymore. So it's like, well, let's just grab these. People love these. We can buy them. We'll flip them. So like clearly that's still a thing, and it's going to be like that in every market. We've had flipper episodes. Like we've talked about this. Like they're going to happen. People
Yeah. It
exist.
just is what it
It
is.
just is what it is. It's the market. It's the way it is. But that's clearly what's happening with this between that and just the excitement of more people, more fans. I mean, look at you got two brand new ones and us getting into this. Last year we would never even know
Yeah.
what any of this was. We didn't even know what
No.
Pop Mart necessarily was because we
No.
never stepped in there. So we're new to this. So, sorry guys, we put two more people into the line of people trying to buy this stuff. But yeah, let us know if you guys are excited for these things or you're trying to get them or if you're able to. But the second part of the thing is the retail side of things. And this is why I really wanted to talk about this because like carts and sites and stuff crash all the time. Like that's like a thing. Funko's
Yeah.
even had it.
Yes.
Like people always have issues with their websites and stuff. That happens all the time. But the excitement and the amount of people, I think the only other thing recently that we could talk about that would be on par with this is like the Pokemon drops that have been wild.
Like
People fighting each
100%
other and
agreed.
stuff, right? Like
Which
craziness.
this is even looks worse.
But this is like, there's so many videos of just malls, like that are pop that have a Pop Mart, for instance, and the line of people that have been waiting to get in and get like a box of these basically is insane. Like
Insane.
waiting hours, waiting way ahead of time. Certain malls, certain videos, they have like the malls, they don't have rules where you can stand in certain places. You can't line up. So you have to like leave and come back. And then there's other ones that you are allowed to line up, but then you have to like wait. They open early. I'm assuming you only can get one per person or whatever, but
You would hope.
it was mayhem on how crazy. And the only thing I didn't see is I didn't see any videos of people like fighting each other, or stabbing each other, and doing crazy stuff like we've seen with other things that, get
Yes.
hyped. But I wouldn't be surprised if stuff like that is happening because I've seen it with the Pop Mart. What are they called? The little not convenient thing, the little booths that they have, like the kiosks, like the
Oh
little,
yeah.
like
Like the robot machine thing.
yeah, the little machines that you can get them randomly at different stores, different malls. Sometimes have them popped up or whatever. We've seen people like buying stuff on there, and people getting pissed and like, "What are you doing? You're buying them all out," because there's not really no one's like monitoring how many you're
No.
grabbing, which is kind of annoying because the same thing happens with freaking Pokemon ones too. Um, but yeah, that's the only other time I've seen this. But it's just pretty wild to see a hype nowadays. Besides like Pokemon, obviously, and it's for plushy monster looking weird bad
Well,
clips, right? Which we love, but it's just funny
but
to know
that's
that
what
that's
makes
what
it
it is.
so wild. When you look at this thing, you wouldn't believe the broad appeal it has. And I also think that's what makes it so insane. And I don't want to throw stereotypes out there, but traditionally people like mere migs who collect certain things, you collect certain things. But there are tons of people I feel like who don't collect anything, especially a lot of women who are really going after these things, and they are waiting in the line from these videos I'm seeing. They're going nuts over. I was talking about this with one of my coworkers the other day, and someone heard me, and she came in and joined the conversation, and I was shocked because I would tell you, there's never in a million years I would ever think she would be trying to get Labubus for herself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not like everyone knows I'm the collectible guy at work, and like she's talked to me about it, but she's like, "Oh, I don't collect anything," and she was just like, "Oh my god, I need these things."
Yeah, it has this weird like draw to it where it's like they're kind of cute, but at the same time they got that little horror feel. They got a little, But then I think the fact that I was like, there's different colors. You can collect them. You can
Yes.
clip them onto bags. You can match them with your outfits, or you could just collect them, stand them up.
I mean, some
And
people
the
dress them
blind
up.
box part is cool. So yeah, exactly. They make clothing. Like that's where you're like super intense. But it reminds me of like people that have like chimpanzees and they dress them up and whatever. But there's just like so many aspects to it. I think that's why it's so exciting because it's like you got to just pure collector side of it. You got to like people that think it's cute, you got the people that are using it as an accessory. You got people, like there's so many different and the age range kids love it. So you got like kids like my daughter loves them.
Yeah.
Like she's already like anything that has like when I opened the One Piece one, she knows who Luffy is just because of the name. I've said it before, but she like loved those. She loves the yoga ones that we've
My
gotten, like
son too.
all
He
those. So
already
it's
was
like,
saying, he's like, "Do you got any more Labubus? Can I
oh
get
yeah,
like?"
same way. Every time we go to American Dream Mall, which is a big mall that's by us, there's a Pop Mart there, and every time she wants to hop in, she wants to see what they have. She was actually one day, I think I said on the podcast that there was nothing there, and she was
Yeah,
pissed. It's like,
freaking
why
out.
is there nothing? Like, why? Like, she doesn't understand the selling out thing yet.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, they're just, I don't know, they bought them all. Sorry. Um, but yeah, it's pretty wild, but it's cool to see. I just hope they become like they restock. Their site usually does like a 10 o'clock at night type of thing where you can go on and sometimes they'll have stuff restocked. Sometimes you get it through Pop
Which is
Now.
cool.
Yeah, which
Like,
is cool. That's the only way you could do it. You can't go into a store
yeah,
and just grab it after the launch essentially because they usually, unless it's like one of the smaller, like for these they probably won't have them again unless it's like a random restock or you get them online and you pick them up.
correct. Yeah.
But
And
we'll
we don't
see
really
because
have many Pop Mart stores even around. Like, yeah, you're lucky you have that one, but
yeah,
there's
that's
only
the only one I think
one
I
in
know of, but it's
there's
close at
one
least.
in New York City in World Trade Center. It's tiny. I'm like shocked there's not. I bet you they'll be coming now more to New York City. I'm just surprised there's not more.
Yeah, New York. Yeah, I'm very surprised. We had looked up about it, remember? And
Yeah.
I was actually very surprised that there was not like there's the mini sale stores obviously, but like Pop Mart should be.
Yeah,
It
it's
definitely should
weird.
be in New York. I feel like it seems to be a place that's only in like malls for the
Yeah.
most part. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. It might not only be, But every time I've seen someone
they're
go to one or talk about it,
outdoor type
they're
malls.
in a
Yeah, they're
mall
not.
or an outdoor mall or something like that, not just like a random little
Yeah,
store in a corner kind of a thing. That's usually kind of, and New York obviously doesn't necessarily have malls
no,
per
yeah,
se, so maybe that's, but who knows. But yeah, let us know if you guys did get any. Hopefully you were able to. I know most of the people I talked to at least did not.
yeah. I don't know
Pretty
anyone who's
much
gotten them.
it was just crashed. I just seen a couple people online that got lucky and got boxes, but they probably waited in those wild lines at the mall. But yeah, hopefully we can grab one, because I do want one. I want at least one, and even like the macaron ones. I think I want at least one just to say I have
Yeah,
one.
it's cool to have
Oh,
one for the set.
yeah, exactly. To have a seat ones, I got lucky. I got 4. Thank you, Tony, and she hooked it up. But those I don't even see really. So it's like they're really still hard to get. A
I
lot of
like one
these.
night got lucky, and I'm like, oh my god, they're both up, and I just kept playing the pop now
Yeah,
game
the pop
until I
out,
got it.
it actually was kind of fun. I know we had
It's
a big
very
long
fun.
rant about it in one episode, a few episodes ago, but I was ranting in the sense of like it was exciting because it was. I just didn't get how it happened, and then once I figured it out, I was like, "Wow, this is wild." You have to really spend a lot of
Yes,
time to get
it's
lucky.
crazy.
But nonetheless, it's a new drop. It's a new set. It's a new craze. Something that's exciting for us in the collecting world, and we'll see kind of where this goes. Like, will this continue on with this hype? But yeah, it was very anticipated, this drop. So, like, good luck if you guys are
I'm
still
curious
trying
to
to
see
get it.
how long it will be until the next one comes out. It's like it seems like they've been paced well, but once again, we
Yeah,
are not haven't been in the game long enough. But like, I hope it continues to stay that way.
I agree. I could see them maybe coming out with another little small set, like obviously
Yeah,
the
which I
Lazy Yoga
like,
ones,
which is cool.
and in that aspect. But yeah, but the last thing about it, so obviously another aspect of it, obviously the blind box thing,
Yeah,
and the fact that you can try to pull the secret is a big deal, because I've seen now my feed is like tons of
mine too.
Labubu
That's
stuff,
all it
which is
is.
so funny. Like, they're smart, clearly they figured out our algorithm and they go crazy about it. But they a lot of videos I see of people just buy so many of any of the sets basically just to try to get the secret, and like it's wild, like, 'cause they just want to get the secret. Like, it's the biggest deal, so it's like,
I
I
know,
guess that's
like
part of the excitement of
it is. Yeah, that's where I'm like, okay,
thrill.
if I got the secret, it's cool, but I'm not going to spend thousands of dollars to try to find the secret.
Yeah,
I would just buy the
that's
secret then, probably.
I know at that point, even though it might be pricey, you can get it for the price you're
Yeah,
paying
that
for
is
these.
true.
Yeah, I mean, I got lucky with the yoga ones. Pulled it, not even knowing I pulled it. That
Oh,
was
shit, I
hilarious.
forgot about that.
Yeah, dude. And that one was 1 out of 127 or 172,
Yeah.
something like that. Which the other ones are usually like 1 of 64, I think. Something like
Yes.
that. So this is like even more rare. And I pulled it and I had no idea. But it was sick. But definitely check that out. So let's move on to Funko, because
Yeah.
we don't really talk about them anymore, right?
We
Like I said,
don't.
I
It's
changed
kind
my
of weird.
name. Collector Minx now.
Yeah, Collector
No
Migs.
longer
Our
Pop.
logo is just says Collector Chatter now.
No longer Pop. Which is funny. There's a lot of people in the VeeFriends world call me Pop
Yeah.
instead of Migs.
Yeah,
It's funny.
I agree.
I guess it's just whatever's in the beginning. They just like try to make it
But now
short.
they'll probably call you Collector Migs. It's funny.
Yeah. Yeah, because they're probably not going to be a collector. Like,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah,
I
no.
wouldn't think, but maybe they thought Pop was something to do with me, my name or something. Or I was an old guy or something.
Yeah, what up,
Hey,
Pop?
All right, we'll keep it more diverse. That was digress. Sorry.
Yeah, that's all good.
Funko Fundays.
Yeah.
So we obviously have been on here up and down with Funko, and we talk about the highs and the lows, and there was a lot of lows lately, and a lot of stuff is missing. And one of the big things that we talked about it a lot when Rocky Moto came out, well, Throwjoy first, actually, when Throwjoy came out, then Rocky Moto, and how they were still running with the events. And obviously we put that funny meme up. If you guys didn't check it out, definitely check it out. That was hilarious. How you like the apples, because obviously Rocky Moto was like having that big Dreams event, and even Throwjoy is going to have an event at San Diego Comic-Con, and Funko was just like nowhere to be found. And Mike leaving kind of led us to believe that, like, okay, maybe they just won't do events anymore. Although we were like, they should be able to figure out a way to do it. Like when we had Tristan on, CJ, they both said, like, I'm sure they'll do something. They'll figure something out, do whatever. So it's been a little bit, but now we finally got kind of something that they're going to be doing. And it's not San Diego Comic-Con connected. It's kind of a different thing, but
Yep.
it is called Fundays. But it's called Fundays Experience.
Experience.
Quest for the Grail.
Experience.
Ooh. And
Uh
yeah, they're I don't know, a couple things I want to say. We'll get into like details on the event and all that kind of stuff, which is going to be held at Funko Hollywood. That's one kind of twist in LA, the 27th to the 29th. So it's a 3-day thing. It's kind of like they're doing their own little convention, essentially. But yeah, I like the way they even kind of showed this, and they had like a little reel that they came out with on Instagram was
nice.
it was just so cheesy and just I don't know, it just didn't seem exciting. Like there's some people, there is still to this day, I will say, hardcore Funko truthers that like no matter
Yep.
what they're doing, they're still about it. And power to you. Not gonna hate. We're not really on that level anymore, but so be it. But I just don't see how this could be that exciting. And then when we get into the details, which Charlie, if you want to run through, I don't know, do you have the post up that kind of breaks down?
Yeah.
Um, I think Dish Trackers put one up that has like kind of most of the breakdown of the stuff. But he'll get into it where you can talk about obviously like what the event is and kind of like where they're going with this. But overall, it's just like this whole experience, and it's going to be I don't know. It's definitely not what you normally think of as a Fun Days event. Like, are they going to have a box? Supposedly they will, and some other things. But I just, I think it's just like they're just grasping at straws right now. They're trying to just do something, which I can't fault them for that. At least they're trying to do something, but it just puts in perspective. Like, it makes you think like they're really not where they used to be at all. Like, you can tell they're really just trying to, just like they're like a duck in a pond where their feet are just going wild and they're just thinking like, hey, above there you think, oh, they're cool. Funko's doing good. Oh yeah, they made so much money. Funko's doing good. Oh yeah, Funko,
Yep.
like, but down below, like they're running. They don't know
No,
what's going on.
I mean,
And
I
yeah.
completely agree with you. In my opinion, they were better off not doing anything. I would have started off with that at least for a year. So yeah, like Meg said, the Fun Days Experience Quest for the Grail. It is from June 27th to the 29th, and all the information we really have so far is that it'll be in Funko Hollywood, like Meg's already said, but then we're gonna get protos. They did say there will be a box of fun
Mm-hmm.
and more surprise at this experience, and the tickets are going to drop in May, so probably in a couple weeks. That's all we really know so far about it. But what I take it from this is like, this is basically just going to be, oh, you can buy some special products at our store. We'll have a few little fun things for you to do there. Obviously, the store is an experience in itself. May
Yeah.
get some people to go who haven't gone, but I feel like this is more going to be like a local type thing. If you happen to be in the area that day and you see, ooh, there's a special event, or like Mick said, the hardcore sweaties that are still there. I think they look. I just think this is a bad look for Funko, in my opinion. And like we said a little bit earlier, if you guys haven't seen the reel that we posted, where we made a joke about if everyone has seen the Goodwill Hunting when Matt Damon says, how you like them apples? What he was slapping on the screen was the Dreams event, which is probably going to be awesome because it's run by Mike, who this was clearly his baby. Him and even Brian like these events because obviously, like Mick said, Throjos will be having one too. And what I love about it is, and I have no problem saying this on the podcast, like it was amazing. Mike liked it. He said he couldn't stop laughing.
Hmm.
Gabby liked it. Filmmaker Justin liked it. Like, I mean, a bunch of their employees are saying it was great, which for me is just like, whoa. I was a little surprised that Mike liked it, and I was really happy. It's just like, wow. It put in a little bit of color for me. Like, probably leaving Funko was, we'll never fully know, but it was kind of like, yeah, they did him dirty. And yeah, we thought the events, there's been jokes for the past few years events, and at least they were the Fun Days experience. I don't want to keep trashing on this, but I don't. There's going to be absolutely no hype for this. I think it's going to come. It's
Yeah.
going to go. We'll see a few pictures on Instagram with the people who go, but I think the Thrill Joy event and the Rakimoto event, like people are going to be talking about, and they're going to be the hype of the con.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was interesting. They chose to like still not really do San Diego Comic Con or do that as the event where everyone's going there. That's the convention. They wanted to kind of do their own thing, which Funko does that a lot. Obviously, they make their own
But
little side
I don't want to
things.
interrupt you here, but I want your opinion on this because I don't want to forget. They're doing this because they don't want to be embarrassed by Funmaker Inc. and Thrill Joy, in my opinion. So now they don't even need to compete with them, and they'll act like, oh, we didn't do anything there. But in my opinion, that's why they're not
Yeah.
doing anything at San Diego Comic Con.
No, I agree, and I don't think they would have done anything that would have been up to par, and it would have looked worse
Yeah.
instead of them just not doing it. But obviously, they're doing this first because San Diego Comic Con's in
Yeah.
July, so they're doing this in June. So there's enough time, a little bit of a break in between or whatever. The way they made it seem, because they obviously have to have a reason for everything, whatever, is that like the reason why it's at Hollywood is because that's like where the original one was. That's where they used to do fun days before they did it at San Diego Comic Con. So it's like, oh, we're doing it at Hollywood,
Yeah.
whatever. And like Charlie said, like I've been to Hollywood once, the Funko Hollywood store, and it is cool. It's an experience. You got all these different rooms. You got giant molds of Funko Pops. Super cool. Like it's a great. If you ever have a chance to go, like definitely go. Like it's for sure, like a great experience, and it's fun to see. I wish they had more of those. Like I wish it was an East Coast one. Obviously, we talk about it all the time.
Yeah.
Why does New York not have one? But it is what it is. But that's what they have. Then they also posted this thing here, and they're trying to be funny. I was like, "Whoa, they're Funko. This sounds like a different kind of fun days." Obviously, right? But they, like Charlie said, their big thing is called like it's an experience, quest for the Grail, and it's gonna be like all the things you love about fun days, supposedly, which is like this doesn't make sense that it is, but they're gonna have games, they're gonna have team competitions, they're gonna have the box of fun. They're going to have an unsanctioned but totally encouraged pop trading frenzy, which is funny because they clearly know that that's what happens at their
Yes.
cons. So now they're going to point it out like, oh, we're going to give you all these cool pops. Go feel free to trade them. And, it's something that we kind of okayed, even though it just always happened anyways. And obviously they're going to probably be giving out prizes, maybe, protos
It's
or
going to be
whatever.
like probably that event. If anyone saw on social media, a bunch of the big Funko influencers were all invited on the rooftop at WonderCon. I feel like it's just going to be something like that, where they're handing out stuff. You get your box of fun. Maybe it won't be much different than what a Fun Days was, but they're not going to have the like pizzazz show you get from Mike.
Yeah, and I think also like it might be watered down a bit because it's 3 days of it. It's not like the one event where
You're right.
everything's going there and it's whatever. Like they're doing it for all 3 days, and it's not like it's not really a con, so there's not like they have to drop exclusive pops or stuff that necessarily. They haven't announced it at least that like, so it's just strictly gonna be like, go buy stuff if you want, have fun. We'll have some games, we'll do some giveaways. We'll give the box, and a couple other things, blah, blah, blah. So, and they're also saying like to dress up, like, like characters, to be fun, blah, blah, blah. So like, I don't know, it's interesting, but tickets are going on sale in May. There's no price point yet.
There's not much.
But it is obviously a ticketed event. So it'll be like, you're not going to be just going in there and trying to grab something. Like you have to have a ticket to get in. So I do wonder like the limit or the number, what they're going to do, especially because it's going to be for 3 days. So, but like I said, I will definitely give them credit for at least doing something. I do agree though, like you didn't really have to. It could have just been like, whatever, we're just gonna pass on fun days and hopefully do something for New York Comic Con, even though last year they didn't do anything for New York Comic Con. So it's like maybe they're just not gonna do anything for conventions. Maybe they'll just do these side things. And that seems like what they'll kind of do. And they've done that in the before and we liked it, but it was always kind of mixed in with other things. It was more exciting. Like this kind of reminds me of the tour one where they were driving the bus.
Oh yeah, the Funko
stopping in places thing. Yeah, so it's like I'm getting that vibe, but in one place, obviously.
Fun on the run.
Fun on the run, yeah, where they had a box, they had some exclusive stuff. It's like we don't know if any of this is going to be online, by the way. That did have online. I'm assuming this is only at the event. I kind of hope it is only at the event, just make
I
it just
agree.
even more super exclusive. Um, but hopefully we get more details on kind of what's to come, and then we'll always be keeping our ears to the ground if we hear anything with leaks and stuff, because that's always bound to
Yeah.
happen usually, with
We
what'll
still
be in some of
we're
these
not like
boxes and stuff.
Like I know we've said this all the time. It's not like we don't like Funko anymore, but we're gonna be honest when it comes to our opinion, whether you agree with it or you don't. And me and Migs don't feel the need to not be honest.
100%.
It's as simple
It's
as that.
always it's what we've been for 130 episodes, so
Yes.
it's always going to be the same. If we like something, we will ride it. We'll talk about how great it is, and when it's not, we talk about
And
that
I'm
it's
sure
not.
that day will come with for Funko again for us,
Mhm.
in my opinion. But
Yeah, even recently, there's been stuff that we talked about we
yeah,
actually liked, and like I said, we don't hate this. It's kind of just like there. It's like whatever. It's not living up to what it used to be, and it's not living up to what other companies are currently doing that we are more excited for. But it is at least something. It doesn't give me like a lot of reassurance that like Funko is coming back to being who they were. At
this
least
feels
not anytime soon.
super corporate
Yeah.
again.
Which we
Like,
had a feeling that's kind of where they were going to go when
yeah,
they went that route. It just like was a mix. Like sometimes we saw it, sometimes we didn't, and we're like, are they? Are they not? So
yeah.
it's been
It's
weird.
like it's just
I say this all the
upsetting.
time. We say it about the sports things and stuff too. I say it all the time that I feel like there's so many different heads, like minds in these rooms, and not like one person runs one thing and the other thing. I feel like every week they switch
Yep.
because there's certain things that we like, and then the next week that same like area we won't like something they did, and it's like like how did
What are
that
they
same
doing?
person do that, right? Or okay that or whatever. But it is what it is, guys. I mean, let us know what you guys think about
Yeah.
this Fun Days 2025 experience quest for the Grail. So I guess they're gonna have some Grail stuff in there, but we'll get more information. And obviously, if we do, we'll talk about it
It'll
on
cost like
here.
200. Wait, what's the Grail limited edition price?
Oh God, yeah, I don't even remember. 200 something, whatever. Yeah, we'll see. But
Ooh.
let us know your thoughts. Definitely comment down below if you haven't already. And if you haven't by now, like the video, that helps us out as well.
Yes,
And if you're
please.
new or you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. If you are new, welcome. We're Migs and
Yes,
Charlie from
welcome.
Collector Chatter. We have, I know, new viewers and people because now we've been veering off into other things,
Other
which we're going to talk about
spaces.
in a second. So if you're hopping on for one of the first times, because we've been away for a couple of weeks now
Yes, we
too,
have
so
been.
welcome, and make sure you do subscribe because we really appreciate that. We're on our way up to 1,000 subscribers. Hopefully we can get there soon. That would be exciting. But we'll move on to the next topic, which, like I was saying, is kind of one of these
Yes.
new fandoms that we have. Charlie's been for a bit,
Yep.
year-ish, right? A little longer, I
Yep.
would say, right?
But you're in now.
But yeah, so New York Comic Con was my first taste to this. So last
Yes.
year's New York Comic Con, there was a booth. Actually, was Comic Con the year before? They have a booth too.
They did have a booth the year
They
before.
did, right? Yeah, because I kind of
Yeah.
remember you talking about it, but we didn't really like
We didn't really go and
there
like
or anything.
the hype.
You like mentioned it, but
I think the Topps Chrome and the Funko Pop made the booth more
yes.
relevant this year.
Yeah, I remember that. So obviously VeeFriends is what we're talking about. Gary V's company, which if you guys don't know, VeeFriends was his creation, his IP that he's just started from the bottom, creating all these
Yeah.
characters,
All
hundreds
original
of characters,
Yeah.
all original, all basically really preaching like positivity and things with like certain aspects of people and going towards kids, and obviously it's
Look at
like his
Migs giving the
version.
VeeFriends pitch.
Yeah, look at this. I know I'm trying to do my best here. To like, I know they like to say this all the time. It's obviously his Pokemon meets Sesame Street meets
Yes.
Marvel, right? That's what they say, right?
Yes.
I'm getting it.
Yes, you got it.
But no, 100% super on board because I've always been a fan of it, but I just was like from afar. Like, oh, that's cool,
Yep.
whatever. I didn't know too much about it. Last year's New York Comic Con, we got a little bit more reintroduced to it. Cards was a big thing, obviously, because their Topps Chrome Ninja card that they had was like a one card that you can get for free. They handed out. We talked about this a lot, but that was hyping up for what's happening now, which is basically their Topps Chrome set, like this little collab that they have. But before we get into Topps Chrome, I'll talk about kind of what's going on with me right now with
Yeah.
their second series, because the first series is the one that's like kind of untouchable. Like you had
Yeah,
to be around back
thousands of
then.
dollars card, or
Prices are wild
hundreds.
with these boxes. Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah.
Second set is technically the TCG,
Yep.
because the first one wasn't, right. It was just like NFT cards
Yeah, it's just
essentially, and they
straight
made
up,
them into
basically
like
like the
cards,
cards that we're getting
yeah,
now for Chrome.
drawings and
Yeah,
whatever.
tops.
But the TCG obviously more closer to like a Pokemon, that kind of thing, with like grades and stuff on each of them, of the characters. Charlie's been into it. He has pretty much majority of that set, and kind of tried to get me into it. So I was like, oh, I'll get a card. I got one at New York Comic Con signed by Gary. I was like, oh, that's cool. It was in a slab, whatever. And then recently, I want to say it's like a month. I feel like it's only been like a month. I've found my way back to the whatnots of the world, which was obviously something we were very into a long time ago, and it was
Yes.
strictly Funko because that's really where it was. Now there's so much stuff on there. It's insane how much people are using whatnot for. And for VeeFriends, it's been perfect for me because I'm trying to like just build the set, just get a lot of the core stuff, the base stuff that basically you can get for pretty cheap, $1, $2,
Yeah, which
card,
is cool.
because get into these nice little auctions that don't have too many people, too many people voting, going against you. It makes it a little easier. Most of these people are like trying to get high end stuff. They don't really need all the little things. I'm just like, hey, I need that one. Oh, I need that one. I need that one. And next thing you know, I have a lot of cards now. And it's been building up. And thank you to all the people that are out there. If you guys check us out, because I know we shouted our podcast out a few times.
I think we've gotten some VeeFriends community fans to listen to our podcast, which is cool.
Yeah, Tech was one of the big ones. That's a cool one. Shout out to Tech.
Yeah.
Which I know you kind of met through there, and then
he loves Funko though too. So
yeah, which is Funko Addict Tech.
Yeah.
But yeah, VeeFriends. So the big thing is obviously Chrome, which is the newest set. It's massive. It's Topps.
But exactly, it's by Topps. Where the first two sets were made by Zero Cool, which is owned by Fanatics. So like, no shade to them, but like, I mean, Gary will tell you this himself. Like, Topps, like, we've talked about it in the past few episodes. Like, that is like the above all, be all of cards. But yeah, continue, Max.
So yeah, so they're coming out. Obviously, pre-order did happen because we've talked about this before. You might be a little confused if you don't know too much about it, but it was only a pre-order that came out last month, and that was like through the EQL and the raffle, and it was pretty tough to get. I didn't get any. Charlie didn't get any himself. Luckily, Nikki, his wife, did get some, because otherwise he wouldn't have been able to get any of them. Like we talked about screaming, yeah, he would have been on that board, but I didn't unfortunately get any. But the drop itself is May 7th. So that's the official release, which will come out again on Topps. So you'll be able to try to jump on and get hobby boxes.
And it's going to be, they're saying it's going to be a raffle again.
Yeah, I know. It's so weird because
sometimes I'm like, is it, I don't want to like call them out, but like, is it misinformation? But like, they seem
in a couple places though
adamant about it.
That, yeah. So I don't know. We'll see if it is raffle. Hopefully, supposedly, according to the EQL and Topps, whatever, they say like if you don't win the next time you enter, you have higher odds. So like maybe that helps us. I don't know. We'll see. But again, it's gonna be, they pretty much have the blaster boxes. And then they also have the hobby box. The hobby box is obviously the big one that we're trying to get on the site, because the blaster boxes will be more readily available. I think GameStop is rumored to be like the big retailer, big box one. So you can go there. Your local shops will always have stuff. We're still trying to figure out if we're going to be going to a local shop on launch day, hopefully, because I do want to try to get a box if I can't get it online, because a hobby box will have obviously a little bit more rare stuff. But they all have pretty cool stuff in all of the boxes. He did a really good job of like mashing a lot of old style top stuff in this, with obviously all his stuff, and the rarities and all that kind of stuff. And we didn't even get into the fact that like some of this stuff goes for so much money. This community is wild, so it can get pretty intense.
The Funko community and like all like,
dude, it gets intense. And like I'll go join into things, and like again, I'm in the beginning. I'm not trying to spend hundreds of dollars for one card, which people are doing hundreds of dollars for like a pack, not knowing what the hell's in it. But I'm just like watching, and it's just like it's very positive and like
Yes,
exciting, and like you get that vibe and it makes you smile. But like when you see people spending what they're spending, and then on the eBay like market, which Gary, it's the funniest thing because like
I
you
know.
won't see these other CEOs slash people that are
He
running these businesses
promotes it.
like promote like, hey, you could take this pop and look on eBay, it's this much money. Oh, if you take this thing and go on eBay, it's this much money. Like he 100% is like, you just got that? Are you gonna keep it because you love it? No, you're gonna put it on eBay. Great, put it on eBay because it's this much money. And like he, I mean, he's obviously a businessman,
Yeah,
entrepreneur. So like he understands that part of it. But it's cool. He's so real about it though. But yeah, it makes it more exciting, but also intense. And sometimes you can feel a little wild. But that's why I've gotten into these smaller ones where people are just
the
kind of selling a lot
community
of base
streams
stuff.
make it seem, which like once again I've said this in the past, but now I'm happy Migs can answer your questions as well. But if you have any questions about VeeFriends, please shoot us
Hmm.
some DMs, comments. But like one good thing that I feel like I showed Migs, which is good. Everyone, it's so weird. I want to talk about Whatnot really quick though. It's just funny because I've told this to people that I become friendly with in like the VeeFriends community, and they're like, "Whoa, you've been on Whatnot for that long?" I'm like, "Yeah, basically, it just used to be a Funko site.
Hmm.
We used to go on it all the time. Then I like basically deleted the app. Then when I really got into VeeFriends and they started going on Whatnot, it's just like kind of funny. And then I'm like, wow, you can sell anything on Whatnot now. You don't even need to be approved anymore like you used
Yeah,
to.
yeah. Selling wise, yeah, it
Anyone.
was a lot
And
harder.
but what's wild is like Gary's been very the community, like he's kind of like just go on Whatnot. So like a bunch of the community members are just fans like us. They all have Whatnot streams. So when you go on their
Yep, yeah, yeah,
streams, they just want, like Mick said, they just want to help you. It's like, oh, here I have those people who are selling probably have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of cards.
yeah,
Okay, I'll help you guys finish your set. $1, $2 is our bid on them, whatever.
yeah,
It is a good way to get into VeeFriends if you get intimidated by going into their streams. Not that I go in all of them and they're fun, but sometimes I'm like, yeah, I'm not buying this. Like,
yeah.
it's too expensive. But the one thing I always love about VeeFriends, they're very much like, if you cannot afford this, don't spend your money. Gary will say this, but it doesn't mean
Hmm.
you can't enjoy my IP or become a fan of it, which I've always really respected. But yeah, so there's tons of ways to get into it. It's not just looking at people spend, like people will go, like do, they've been really into box breaks now, and they'll do them for characters, and people are spending for like some of the hard cards, like $500 for a chance for them to pull
Yeah, for a
a
chance.
character.
That's what's crazy.
It's wild. It's just
It's
wild.
definitely that's when it gets intense. You're like, wow. Like I don't. That's a
Yeah.
whole nother level that you're just. They call them like the whales. Like yeah, that's intense.
Yes.
Um, but like yeah, it's great to get your kids into. They have so many avenues. So they have cartoons. So obviously you can watch cartoons. I think they're
Yeah.
like on YouTube. You can obviously get into the cards, the trading cards, the NFT stuff that they had. They have
Pins.
merchandise. They have pins, and then the figures. They even have
Yeah.
figures that are literally like half an inch to an inch tiny ones. Then they have like the 2 inch like figures. Then they
Yeah.
have
Like
like a
blind
six
box
inch
figures.
figure.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the blind box size, and have like a 6 inch figure, which is like a little close to like a Funko kind of. And it's just like there's such a mix of stuff, and there's t-shirts and there's hats, socks. Like there's so much
Everything.
stuff,
Like
and
Gary
he is
believes in,
really
yeah.
blowing it up and loves
You
what he
should get the book
does.
for Brooklyn.
Oh, there's a book too. I have to
Yeah, there's a children's book.
comics coming
Yep.
out. Comics coming
Yeah,
out soon.
that's
It's
coming
kind of
out
new.
this week, I
Oh, wow,
think.
okay.
Or
Yeah,
maybe
so
it's
look
the
out for
next
that.
week, but they're coming out with issue number 2, which is going to come, you know, people love the blind bag. It's going to come in a blind bag for you to get different variants of the
Oh
cover
yeah,
of the
like
comic book,
different covers and stuff.
which
Yeah,
is kind of cool. And it's issue number 2. Issue number 1 was only available for the people who have the gift code NFT, and they all came graded in a CGC slab. They look so sick. There's only 555 of them,
yeah,
but that's like going to be impossible. I'm curious to see how the comic, like once again, Gary's getting all these different worlds to push this IP. I'm really curious how the comic's going to do. But then also, like back to Topps Chrome real quick, it'll be interesting to see how that does now. Like, will it be more readily available because it's done by Topps? Will more, or obviously their goal is to make it more mainstream. I'm really excited to see how this all plays out.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's new. It's new to them. Um, like it's not like this, but because it's not sports related, the only other thing we can kind of connect it to is like the Garbage Pail Kids that Tops does as a
Yep.
set. Like obviously this is way better, but like it's not sports, right? So like they do all the sports,
Yeah.
but like when it's like non-sports, I feel like that's kind of like the closest to it. And you usually do see those kind of sitting and like a bunch of them at Targets and things like that. So I just wonder how it's gonna be. But I am surprised. This is completely kind of like off topic, but it makes me think like how much do they make? And they have been super hush on like really not talking about how much is gonna be out there. Because it makes me wonder, like, is there just not too much, or is it going to be a lot of stuff, and is it going to be out there? It seems like there's not going to be, which kind of
Yeah,
makes it like more exciting, but kind of a pain because, like, damn,
it's
I'm not going to be able to just
interesting.
go in and grab it.
Before I really got you into going to these streams, I think, you know, another thing for everyone who's not familiar with Gary Vee, like, dude, his personality is a roller coaster, and he has highs and he has lows, and he puts it all out there for
Hmm.
everyone. He is authentically himself. I think he was going off on a rampage once that like Tops didn't necessarily believe in him, and he's just like, oh no, people are going to come after this, and Tops was kind of shocked at how well the
Hmm.
pre-sale did, and it almost made it sound like you're saying, makes like there isn't much,
Hmm.
but he's kind of hoping based off of this that's next, because they signed a contract for a few years, so we already know there's going to be like Topps Chrome VeeFriends 2026, like they're calling this one 2025. It almost sounds like that's why the Targets of the world, Amazon and Walmart's like they didn't take it, um and they're hoping that it will be even more broader reach and make more with the next series.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we'll see. The community itself is obsessed with this. But and the community's it's a big community, but I still feel like there's a lot of people that have no idea what this is.
100%.
So that's like where I'm hoping, like in this area, maybe people don't know about this, and like it happens to be at
And
a
you just
GameStop or
find it.
whatever, and you're able to find it because then it just like I don't want it to be that big yet because like
No, me
we
either.
want some of this stuff. Obviously,
I'm
we're
already worried about
you.
like, and I've asked this, and the VeeFriends team has responded to me in streams. Even Gary has, but I know they can't control this. The stores are supposed to sell it for MSRP, but I know I've never gone to a local hobby store that sells anything for what it's supposed to be. They pick mark about, especially I know the stores by me. Like I'm already the one that's right down the road. I did call them as Gary asked me to do, and they are going to have it, but I know it's going to be ridiculous price. Like when Lorcana was impossible to get, it was like a few hundred more dollars than what it should have been. And maybe because VeeFriends isn't as known, it won't be. But like
Yeah,
it's kind,
that's
I'm
kind of
just
what
like
I'm hoping.
I'm hoping too. So it will be interesting to see that.
Yeah, we'll
Um,
see.
but one other thing I wanted to say, which is just so awesome about this community, where other companies should learn from, and I am thinking now actually about Funko. So some of the community members, and I don't remember off the top of my head how many, but let's just say 10, are having their own sketch card in Topps Chromes, one of ones. People who are just fans of the community that they've met through Whatnight, have gone to VCon, that are, on talk about them on Instagram. I think that is incredible. Yet Tristan can't get his own Funko Pop. The first thing I thought of about that. It's just like insane to me. And I think that is why the fan base, maybe small, but mighty, and will get bigger, is why people love VeeFriends, is just for simple things like that. Like Gary actually talks to these people. Like I've interacted with him. He follows me
Yeah,
on Twitter. Like it's pretty cool.
yeah. No, he's definitely about his people and about anyone that's supporting him. He's supporting you. Like
Yeah.
he's big on that. So and we got to meet him, and in person he was super cool. We've talked to us a bunch, but like yeah, very genuine guy. Like you can tell. Like he has so much going on, so much on his plate, so many things that he could be thinking of, and he still gives
Still does
time.
this. He's like
Like even on the
11
streams,
o'clock at night.
he'll get into on the streams and he's sitting there with his guys and he's getting excited. Or if it's just somebody else, he's in the chat and he's still involved. And
Yep.
it's like he's like really, really putting a lot. And he said like he's putting a lot into this, like a lot of his time, money, everything he has to do into this, and he wants it to succeed. He's that kind of person. Like he's not gonna do it and not succeed. Like he's making sure
Yes.
that it becomes something. and it is already there. It's already big, but it's just maybe not to the masses yet. But I see it kind of growing and getting
Yeah.
there. And I like how he has multiple avenues. Like he's got the cards, he's got figures, he's got clothes. Like he's doing a little bit of everything to kind of get you like in a different type of like audience to get you into his characters in any way. So very excited for hopefully trying to get that again. May 7th is the official launch. That's coming very soon. It's what, a week basically
Yeah.
now from this episode. So definitely, best of luck to everyone if you're going to try to get it at Tops. Check out your local hobby shops. Like Charlie was saying that hopefully they don't price them like
Yeah.
crazy. They're priced already pretty low for a Tops product, which is
Yes.
surprising. So even if it's a little bit of a price hike, like I'll still try to. I feel like if it's a little bit more, I'm okay with getting it. But if they're doubling it and tripling it, which
Yeah.
sometimes what people do, like that's just wild. I don't. That's just too much. So that's what I'm hoping Tops and like the retailers.
But I also feel like they're going to sell
were able
some
to
of it on
grab.
their Whatnot streams. I would like to
Yeah.
think it's MSRP, but Gary also does whatever he wants.
Yeah, and the thing is like the only thing I could think of is like if you guys don't know, obviously Whatnot is also like an auction type site.
Yeah.
So like they can put things up for auction, and now it's just like, what do you want to pay for it? Where's the market go? And some of these people don't care.
Yes.
And they'll pay more than what it needs to be. And then us, we're gonna sit there like, well, I'm not gonna pay that much, obviously. Whereas like obviously older stuff he'll pop up and put flash sales and have it be cheaper. But a lot of the times it's like auction based, obviously, and it's kind of like because he knows like, well, how much money can I make off this? If you want to pay it, cool.
Yeah.
And he knows people are gonna do it, so he just kind of does it. And there's hundreds of people in those streams, so it's not like you're gonna randomly get something for a few bucks. Like no, it's gonna keep going up. So
yes.
But yeah, excited for that. That's something new. We've been kind of incorporating that into, our talks here on the channel, but we'll continue to do so because we're now both big fans. And yeah, I got a binder getting those. I'm gonna start building that set. I just literally did a Whatnot. I was on a Whatnot stream last night and got 25 cards on that one stream.
There we go.
So yeah, it's getting intense. So
you're gonna have to pick your favorite character.
I know I have like a couple. I can't say I only have one though. That's gonna be like
it's hard. I know
because like I really like the clown, which I was able to get a slab,
which is cool.
Which is cool because that one's a really cool one. It's a rookie card, so that was fun. I like the gorilla, which is why I also got that figure because I think that's like a super cool looking one, and I like the gorilla. But then I also have like
you get
other animals that like
too.
Yeah, the gorilla T, exactly. Yeah, I do like the gorilla.
Yeah.
My favorite animal is a monkey, so I feel like I would kind of have to like a monkey character. But Brooklyn's favorite animal is a giraffe, so I've kind of really leaned towards getting her stuff for the giraffe.
And they're two of the biggest characters.
Yeah, dude. Oh, I didn't tell you. So last night in that stream, it was so I'm gonna go so off topic here, but screw it. It was a stream with the barista guy where he does 9 cards. It's really cool. There's 9 cards up, and then everyone just bids. It starts at $1, ends in like 10 seconds, or whatever. It's like a quick bid. And if you're the highest bidder, you get to pick any of the one of the 9 that you see. And then once he pulls that out, whatever's behind it, it keeps going like that or whatever. So I was getting towards the end, and sometime earlier on, because I don't have the draft card yet, I asked him, I was like, do you have any of the drafts? And he's like, I think I do around here, so whatever, but never put it up. So he kept going. Then towards the end of the night, he was like, he's like, Pop. So he kept calling me. He's like, Pop, I know you wanted the giraffe. I found the giraffe. So he puts up a giraffe. So I'm like, oh, nice. He's like, all right, Pop. And there wasn't too many people in there, maybe 30-ish, maybe 40 people. So a lot of people weren't bidding. It was only me and a couple people. And you could tell they were like me. They were trying to build their sets.
Yeah.
And I'm going and I'm winning this thing. I'm like, all right, nice. When we get the draft. And then someone else bids. I'm like, okay. So I bid, and then they bid, and they bid. And I'm like, and it goes up to like $14, $15. And I'm like, what the fuck? So then this person gets a draft, and he's like, oh, congratulations. And I'm like, bro, like, I've been asking for this. Like, whatever.
Yeah, I hate
so
when
then,
people do that.
Yeah. So it's like, I was like, all right, whatever. Then he goes, oh, a little bit later, he goes, oh, guess what? I got another giraffe. And it was in a top loader. So he puts a giraffe. So then, same thing. going back and forth with this other person, going back and forth, and I'm like, I'm gonna pay a little more. I really want this giraffe. Keep going, keep going. Other person gets it again. I'm like, what the, like, what is going on?
That's wild.
Yeah, dude, I know. I meant to tell you this. So then, and then he's like, I think I have one more. And I'm like, oh my God. So he puts it on, and I'm like, I'm getting this fucking draft. So I put my max bid a little higher. Time starts going down, and it's funny because, like, if you don't know about Whatnot, obviously you can bid by the dollar essentially, or you can set a max bid. Let's say I set it at $15. So if someone bids, if you bid $4, and the next person bids 5, you automatically bid 6, essentially.
Yeah.
It doesn't make you go 15. It just does whatever the next dollar is, which I like. That's cool. Because
Agreed.
it's not like you have to go to 15, right? But anytime someone bids, as long as it's not over 15, you'll always get the next highest bid. So you see that they're bidding, but that they're not reaching your number. And I'm just like, please don't get there. And I got it for like $8, I think. $8
Oh,
or like $9.
there you go.
So the last one, and I was like, thank God. And I was like, at least I got it. It was funny because one of the guys who got it had the girl that is, like, I don't know if it's his wife or whatever, had her like sign it. And I was like, it's random on the giraffe.
Yeah, they do that too. Like some people are character maxis in the community. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. So it
It's
was
weird.
funny, but either way, the draft is a big one of mine as well. So yeah, I was able to get it. But very excited. We'll definitely talk about this more on other episodes, I'm sure, for sure, because hopefully we can rip some Chrome.
We're
That'll be the most exciting part.
Yes.
And I want to try to get some content. If I'm able to go to, I know we both want to really try to go to this one shop that's local to us, which Gary might be there, but they're definitely getting boxes. It'll be fun and cool to at least get some cool content for you guys if we could do that. Yeah, check out VeeFriends stuff if you guys haven't already. I did want to talk about Rocky Moto real quick. Love.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Mike, Gabby, everyone over there. Dave,
how can you
guys
yeah,
have been great. The page has been great. Props to your Instagram, props to your videos, production A+. Which is funny because I used to always trash on Mike's stuff, but not like in a bad way, like it was a funny, cheesy way.
Yeah.
And he still kind of has his funny videos, but like whoever he has really, really taking care of this is like official, and it's really cool. It's really fun. Like you say it all the time, like bring the fun. We're definitely trying to bring the fun. That's why we talk about things that like we enjoy, and when things aren't where they should be, like when Funko messes up, whatever, like we're going to talk about it because to us it's not fun anymore. It's not making fun. And that's why everything that this guy has done, he put so much into it. We really, really, really like what Mike is doing with this company. We like the figures. I mean, I've been actually going out and grabbing some. I got a little surprise here. I got two surprises. What's good?
Let's go.
So I got pretty much every character except for one. The one Babu one where it's like the regular version of her, not the tiger. But yeah, these are cool. I like them. They're cute. My daughter likes them.
You got to get them in hand. I feel like it changes your opinion.
It is surprising. They're super light, and it is different than what you would think. But yeah, they're fun. They're cool. They're a lot more easily accessible. They're more common release, but you can still get a cool like surprise, and everything. So the chase is cool of it. But there's a wave 2 coming out. So shout out to that. Those are the 2 characters, which I'm actually really excited for those 2 characters. Which of course the lion, and then the other character, it's a raccoon, right?
Well, yeah.
The first time I saw it, I thought it was
they have a bear coming out.
A bear, but I think it's a raccoon. No,
let me double check that now because I don't want to say wrong. They have both. I'm pretty sure both are coming.
The lion is coming.
The lion's definitely coming. But I don't.
Let me see.
Yeah, the next one we're getting is a raccoon. Okay. And the lion.
The lion and the raccoon.
Yes.
The raccoon has a little like conductor hat on.
Correct.
Which is funny. Okay. Yeah, so those are cool. So look out for those. We are going to get those as part of like the wave 2. And then I'm sure we'll get some other, I think we're going to get a variation of Leo maybe and Babu too. So that's kind of what's coming next. But yeah, they've been doing a really good job. I really love what they're doing. And this is making like collecting and something new, like exciting and fun.
Yeah.
Like we like commenting on their videos, and they always respond back and they like stuff for us, and like we really truly appreciate that support, because we're just like these little guys that like to have
Exactly.
fun and talk about stuff that we like to collect and all this cool toys and whatever it is. But a lot of people don't always give us the time, whether like we're not big enough or they don't see us, whatever. And you guys have. So I did want to like give you guys like a thank you guys, because it's been awesome. We love it. Makes us kind
Agreed.
of geek out when we see things like this. Like obviously we had a funny reel about when Mike first followed us, and it was like that's how we were. We were that excited. But yeah, it's exciting to see what's to come, because we know that hopefully at New York Comic Con there's something cool and we're able to kind of be a part of that, because that would be awesome. But yeah, I did want to just let that know. Obviously, there's no date yet or anything, but those will be coming soon, I'm sure, and they'll hit the Miniso stores. So check out your stores if you haven't already to see some of this stuff. But
But I just want to go off even what Mick said.
go
Like
ahead, yeah.
we just really appreciate that because, like you said, I feel like we're the like little channel that in the community that, and I'm not just saying because it's our podcast. Like I don't think we get the respect we deserve at all. Especially when I see some of these other channels. If I'm being blunt, so thank you. All the fun makers from
Mm-hmm.
Gabby. It started with Gabby to Mike. And now Dave has commented. We've had every one of their major people comment on our Instagram posts
Yeah.
and say they like our channel and they listen to the podcast. And it just, like I said, that means like so much to us. And like I said, Mike followed us, and we've now been doing this for 3 years,
Yeah, it's crazy.
and which is crazy. And
130 episodes.
we've never been given the light of day from Funko. Yes, sometimes we're not positive, but I mean, we're pretty like we built our entire brand and podcast
Oh
off of
yeah.
Funko, and
Yeah.
9 out of 10 times, it's only said everything positive. Even Thrill Joy, when that first came out, I mean, I couldn't have been like, loving Thrill Joy more. Never got anything from them. So like, yeah, I even just from me, I know Migs agrees because he just said it, but like we really appreciate it and we love your product. And I'm happy that I even see you do this for other channels too, that you just really appreciate your fans, because at the end of the day, that's all you can really count on. So
Mm-hmm.
go Rokimoto.
Yeah, absolutely. But that'll probably be it, right?
Yeah, I
I
think
don't know if
that's
there's
it. I
anything
mean, there's
else.
nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A couple of little things here and there, but
important
um
things.
yeah, those are the big things. We'll tie into some other things if we do throughout the week. Maybe get some more funny shorts and stuff. If anything happens, definitely make sure to check us out. Again, if you guys are just listening on Spotify or Apple, appreciate you guys. Thank you guys. And hopefully you guys are like following us there. But if not, come to YouTube, because obviously we have the visual side of things. We like to show a little bit more over here, but then we also have like off episode type stuff. Like obviously we post like funny reels and on Instagram, and then put them on as shorts on YouTube, so you can kind of see them over here as well. And if we do openings or stuff, sometimes we'll put them on there as well. But definitely just make sure to check us out on all the avenues that we do. If you haven't on Instagram, definitely check us out on Instagram as well. Charlie, hopefully you don't get mixed up,
I
because
won't. I'm
it's
ready.
been we switched up a little bit on the names, but
Yes.
Charlie will let you know where, obviously, to follow us and all the good stuff. And then yeah, we'll be, best of luck for everyone trying to get any of the stuff that we were talking about, stuff that's going to be coming out in the near future, because we're excited for where the collecting world is now, because now we have a lot of different things that we like
We
to
do.
talk about and stuff, and it's getting exciting. So I like it.
So yeah, as always, you can find us at Collector Chatter on Instagram, and then you can get us at Collector_Migs and at Collector_Charlie. We're just the Collector universe now. I'm just like the fun makers.
Yeah.
And obviously, if you're listening on the podcast platforms, please, give us a review on there. And if you're on Spotify, interact with the questions that we have that are attached to every episode. And then obviously come on over to YouTube as well, as Meek said, where you can, you get the little extra special sauce where you get to see images of all the things that we are talking about. And if you're here, please, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, hit that notification bell so you know when new stuff comes out, and shoot us comments, because as always, we don't leave one comment unread, and we respond to all of them because we love our fans. And yeah, let us know what you've been collecting, if there's anything new that we should be getting into. I don't know if we need to get into anything else, but
Yeah, I'm good with this stuff.
just let us know, because it's always fun, and let us know what you've been enjoying collecting and what you're excited for. With that being said, we'll see you next week. Collecting is the way. Later.
Peace out.